Hello everybody, it's Reezy here. Welcome back to another minecraftsurvival video. We are now on episode 13, and if you're wondering where I am, we are over at Scoomer's base doing the intro today. I thought I'd take the opportunity to show off some of his base. I won't do all of it because it's pretty massive, but I did want to show off some of the things he's built and what he's done for the community as well. He's been putting in the hard work, that's for sure, guys. Man has been grinding. So here we are on top of his base, guys. He made like a survival fort, I'm going to call it. This is where he was killing off mobs and grinding for XP in the early days. But yeah, this is the fort that's on top of his base. Kind of scouts the area and whatnot. I was going to go down into the main part of his base, but he's got a couple of new things down there. So I don't want to kind of spoil them off because I do know he hasn't showed them off on his own channel yet. But yeah, this is the top of Scoomer's base. A nice little fort going on here. I don't know what's going on with these trees. I'm pretty sure he's using this as like a temporary tree farm at the moment as well, because we've got like a half chopped down tree over there. But yeah, this is the top of his base, and I did hear an interesting sound going on in one of these corner fort things, so we're gonna go check that out. What the hell? What is this? Yo dude, Scoomer, this is sus as hell, man. What the fuck? Guys, calm down. It was just a prank, okay? I put this here to create some content for myself, so don't panic. I have too much free time on my hands, man. What the hell am I doing? I am going to leave that there, though, because I'll be interested to see where he discovers that prior to the release of this video, or if he doesn't notice it at all, and then he doesn't see it to the release of this video. Either way, I think it'll be funny as hell. Okay, that's enough of being on top of Scoomer's base. Like I said before, I was going to show off some things down at his base, but I've noticed a couple of new things. I'm sure he would be okay with it, but I'm just going to play it safe just in case he was, you know, wanting to show it off in his video first. But it's not going to end here. I did want to show off two of the builds he's built for the community, so we're going to go ahead and find them. I actually don't know where one exactly is, but I know it's located in the ice area, which is over in this direction. If we keep traveling this way, here it is over here. Sweet. So that was actually an easy find. But yeah, let's touch down here and check out the first build he kind of built for the community as a whole. Here we are, guys. Look at that view up in the sky, by the way. I get distracted so easy, but here we are at Scoomer's ice farm he built for the community. It looks so different when he built it, but that's because he's running a texture pack. But yeah, here we are. This is a place where you can just come to gather up snow as well, technically, and ice without, you know, ruining the environment. You can just sit here, mine ice blocks over and over again. It's got one on this side as well. So yeah, we will be using this at some stage, I reckon, when we're ready to build ice highways and stuff like that. Shout out to Scoomer for build number 1. I also will be leaving his channel description down below, guys, in the description, so go check him out. He's been putting in so much hard effort, like I mentioned earlier. But yeah, shout out to Scoomer. We're going to check out upstairs as well quickly before we head off. He's got a bunch of chests. Looks like, yeah, he does convert it to blue ice somehow with the crafters, and he's got some bamboo growing as well. I haven't really tapped into the crafters too much yet as well. How do we get up here? Okay, so this is just the little lookout at the top here. But yeah, the bamboo is the fuel for the furnace setup he's got going, and then somewhere down here, he has shown it in his video, you put the ice in to make blue ice, I believe. That wraps up the tour of this area. We need to head off towards spawn now to find the second thing he built for the community, and it is absolutely amazing what he's done. I know he was grinding for like 6 hours a day for nearly a week straight to make this farm happen. So let's head off to spawn and try and find where it is. These shaders will never get old, guys. Look at this view. Go into third person. Alright, we've found the village. I think we turn right at the village and spawn is this way. Oh, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this thing. I have no clue how it works at all, but it is a shulker farm in the overworld. And this is why it took him so long to build this farm. I mean, I'm sure the experts could build it in a quicker period, but yeah, I have no clue how this works. All I know is you hang out in this area and shulkers will kill themselves somehow, and obviously the shulker shells will drop. You need some milk. Do I really need some milk? We're just going to go onto the free cam here and check this build out though. Yeah, this is an absolutely crazy contraption. I know he struggled with it pretty bad. So yeah, shout out to you again, Scoomer. Yeah, I really do have no clue how this works, guys, but I know it's effective because he's dropped off heaps of shulker shells at our base before. But all I know is they do somehow kill themselves, and then they obviously drop into the chests in this area here. And they just build and accumulate up over time. But yeah, guys, that's the shulker farm we have got going on this server. It does have a nether portal linked for easy access as well. And then he built like a little safe house, yeah, for any new players that kind of spawn in if they want a safe area to hang out temporarily. All your needs is kind of in this area. We've got furnaces as the floors, a little table, got some storage with some boats. Pretty much all your survival needs and a bunch of junk. Look at that. If you're a new player, you get a free totem of undying. That's crazy, man. But that's all we wanted to cover in today's intro, guys. So we're going to head back over to base and get started on the things we want to get done in today's episode. We've got a couple of things to do. First thing we wanted to get done in today's episode, guys, is add some more lore to our medieval area. And that's going to be by building a nice little fishing dock somewhere on the island. I haven't even chosen a location for it yet. So we're going to kind of look around this specific area and choose the best location where I think a nice little fishing dock will go. And obviously the whole lore behind it will be, this is where the fishermen hang out, gather all their fishies and supply food to the whole community. So I'm going to take a quick look around this area and choose the best location. We probably don't want an area that's too hilly, so we want to choose a spot where it's kind of flattens out a little bit nicer, like over here somewhere. Let's go check out over here. Oh yes, guys, I'm kind of feeling the vibe of this little area down here. Like if I build a little dock, let's say comes out to the ocean out this way, like it looks like you're in a little cove because the island extends out this way, and then you got a little island just out there. I think a fishing dock will look very nicely in this area. I will need to gather up some materials real quick to get this fishing dock going. So yeah, we're going to challenge ourselves and use some materials that we haven't used before. We're going to be using a few new things in this fishing dock build, I reckon. So let's go gather up the materials and we'll set up a little camp here to get this fishing dock going. Holy moly, guys. For some reason, those materials took way longer than I expected to gather all up. But here we are. We've got 2 shulker boxes with some materials in them. It's not going to be a massive build, but I'll run you through the main materials real quick, of course. Got the return of the spruce wood, and surprise, there's no deep slate in here for once, guys. So hooray to me to moving on to other materials. But we're going to give using stripped birch logs and some bamboo a go in this build. Obviously the spruce wood's too good not to pass up, but yeah, we've got plenty of birch and bamboo materials to add into this build. The whole idea is it's meant to look like a kind of like a beach sack, but also a fishing dock at the same time. And then the bamboo kind of adds like a little spice to it that it looks like it's been patched up over time with some cheap bamboo planks. Now all we need to do is load up our light medica mod and kind of rearrange it so it fits perfectly in this little cove area, but I'm pretty happy with this location. So yeah, let's boot up light medica, set the build where we want to. I don't want to show you the blueprint because it's going to kind of spoil what the build looks like, and then we'll head straight into the build. What a cozy little place to do some fishing. Why, hello there. Don't mind me. I was just enjoying the view, doing a little bit of fishing on this nice little dock I just built. I'm very happy with the destination I chose to build this dock, to be honest, guys. It's such a nice peaceful area to hang out with. I mean, look at this view, and we've got a little island out here, and I'm telling you, this island is calling my name to build something on it, guys. I mean, we take a little look. It's not big, but it's not really an island, just a little offshore kind of landmass, I guess you can call it. But yeah, it's definitely calling out to me that I should build something on it. So if you guys have any ideas, let me know. I'm happy to build something on here, or we could just, you know, leave it as like a little nature island. Anyways, guys, the fishing dock is pretty much complete, and of course we're going to give you guys a little tour. But before we get into that, I just wanted to shout out Disruptive Builds. He has a fishing dock tutorial on YouTube, so we kind of pinched some ideas off him and then turned it into our own design with our materials and whatnot. But yeah, shout out to Disruptive Builds. We'll leave the link to that video down below in the description if you wanted to go check out where we got all the inspiration for this fishing dock. But yeah, let's begin the tour. Obviously, the end of the dock here is where, you know, all the land fishing's meant to happen. Got a decent amount of catches there as we were trying to record this little introduction to the fishing dock. This right here is kind of the little docking station where the boats come in and out. We have a little boat parked up on the sandbank here, and this barrel is going to be our storage for the boats. I know it doesn't really make any sense, but yeah, this is where we're going to store the boats for now. Got a little crane hanging off the side of the building as well, so this is going to help unload the items that, you know, the travelers bring in, I guess, or help load items onto the boats that we're going to be taking away. Just before I show off the rest, I do want to mention that I want to bring a villager over here and make him a fisherman. The only issue is that if I want him to, you know, sleep and have a bed, he will be trapped upstairs because we only have a ladder going to the upstairs section, which means he wouldn't be able to, you know, pathfind into the downstairs area. Or I could leave him, you know, without a bed and he can just roam around this bottom area, but I feel like he'll get killed off if I do that. So I think I'm gonna, you know, trap him upstairs and he can just, you know, live his days in the upstairs area, unless we build like a staircase to the second floor so he can pathfind downstairs, but then he might, you know, get killed off anyway. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that, and if you have a name for the villager, let me know. We'll put him in here at some point. Right, back into showing off what we've built. This is the fisherman's little cutting station bench thingy. You know, when you catch the fish and you want to deskin them, you know, you place them on the bench here, you cut them up and you wash them off in the water. Just got a random barrel here for some storage. We'll go inside this section first. This is the kitchen. We are very jammed in here, guys, but we've made it work. Got the smokers along the top, some more storage and benches with the barrels, and then we got a little sink here as well. Head upstairs to the living quarters, and again, we're very tightly jammed in here, but we've made it work, guys. We just got some basic storage. Here's the bed, of course, and then we got a furnace with a little chimney that doesn't even vent to the atmosphere, but it's the thought that makes it count. You know, it's the extra details that make the build look a little bit extra nicer. And then of course we got the balcony that you can enjoy some more views on, you know, see any wandering travelers that are coming in from this direction. Okay, now down to this area. This is the only part that's unfinished, and we're about to move on to this part next, guys. So we just have some basic chests here and a crafting bench. I was going to make like a basic path from this area here all the way over to our main fortress base, but I thought we're going to switch it up a bit, and we're actually going to make a minecart track that comes in and out of here. It starts, you know, over the water, and we'll end up back onto the land and continue all the way up to the front of our fortress in that direction. And you know, it adds a little bit more lore into the world. You know, the fisherman catches all his fishies, loads it up on the minecart, and then, you know, travels off to our starter base area and sells it off to the population. So yeah, it's just adding a little bit more lore to the world, which is what we're aiming for in this forever world. You know, all the builds, we want to have purpose. So I feel like, you know, a fisherman that catches all his fishies and then sells it off and provides food to the main population over in that direction is some great lore to add to the world. Do not come in here. I don't know if you can get in here, Mr. Creeper, but do not come in here and blow this up. This took forever to build. Also, you guys probably weren't able to tell, but I was really struggling using light matter to build this. I don't know why. I just need to find out like a technique I can use with light matter. Like, we're doing single layers and I just felt like it was taking forever. So if anyone uses light matter here, give me some tips and tricks on how to make the builds more fast and look more efficient, because I really did struggle building this. Like, it took me nearly an hour, I reckon. Anyways, we're going to sleep off the night up here, and then yeah, we're going to get into making this minecart track. And I can't even sleep because there is monsters nearby. Ow. Maybe we'll just fly back over to the main base then. But yeah, we're going to clear out some space to make this minecart track. And we'll also make a little docking station, I guess we can call it, out the front of the fortress. Give you an idea while we're heading over anyway. Yeah, thinking of making a little docking station in this specific area. We'll clear out some trees, of course. And then, yeah, the whole idea is the minecart track will travel all the way down and reach the fishing dock so we can make back and forth trips. Since we're already here, let's go ahead and clear out some of these trees, and then we'll build the little docking station right in this area here, and then we'll have to make a bunch of, you know, minecart tracks and powered rails and make up one big massive track that leads all the way down to the fishing dock. So let's get into that. Okay, that's the little minecart lodge, we're going to call it, all done and dusted. It's not meant to look fancy or big or anything like that. It's just meant to look like an old docking station where minecarts come in and out of, so I feel like we've achieved that. We did run into the issue where the iron golem spawned on the roof because our iron farm's right up in this tower here, so we just spawn proofed it with a couple of trapdoors and some spider webs placed down the roof because you can barely even see them. But yeah, that's this done and dusted. I'll show you how we spawn proofed it. See this little spider webs that you can barely even see, but yeah, that's the little lodge done and dusted, as I just said. And now we're going to have the fun, enjoyable part of making the minecart track all the way down to the fishing dock. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab some wood, and we're just going to mark out like a little pathway for now that we can create, you know, the tracks for. So, you know, we kind of want to turn down, do a turn, show out the back, and then head down this way. And we're definitely going to have to clear out some trees on the way through, so let's kind of have a walk around and get a gauge on how we want to do this. So the ocean is right here, so we probably want to do a big hook this way. Okay, let's get into planning out this minecart track. I should really try and phase out the spruce wood out of my builds like I, you know, I'm trying to do with the deep slate, but spruce wood is the best wood in the game in my opinion, so it's pretty hard not to, you know, turn it down when building a new structure. But yeah, I definitely need to challenge myself not to use spruce wood, and we did do that a little bit in the fishing dock build. You know, it's not all spruce wood. We did use the horrible birch and bamboo. Another 4 or 5 trees in the way, no doubt. Or do we go down to the cliff's edge, down near the waterfront, so you get a decent view? Maybe we'll do that. Now the challenging part is, how do I want to make the minecart track coming out of here? That's going to be temporarily in the water, and then we'll do a turn here. Got a lot of spruce wood. I am just going to do some logs for now. I think the only part I'm going to find challenging is how to make the rails powered in this certain section, because they do need a redstone source. So if we just keep doing this, we'll figure out the redstone source later. But what does this kind of pattern look like from out? Have a look at to see what this pattern looks like out in the ocean. Might just look better if we do a one log pattern, but then yeah, I'm just worried about how I'm going to power the rail. Gonna have to be at least one powered rail along here somewhere. Yeah, we'll switch it up to fences, and then we're worried about the powered rail situation later on. Okay, now that we've established a temporary path, we're gonna go ahead and make up a bunch of minecart rails and the powered rails. Definitely gonna deplete our gold storage. We're very short on gold as it is, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and make up all the tracks and see how we can link it all up. That didn't completely decimate my gold stash, but we are running decently low now, but we've made about 150 rails to see how far that'll get us. And we've made a ton of levers as well. We're going to try and use the lever method to power the powered rails. That was a bit of a mouthful to say there, but yeah, we should be able to put the levers underneath the powered rail, that the block that it sits on, and then switch it on, and it should be powered 24/7. So hopefully that doesn't, you know, destroy this area in terms of a frame rate point of view, but that's the strategy we're gonna give a go. We place the leather underneath this block and flip it. That doesn't work anymore. Okay. Putting a leather straight underneath the powered rail doesn't work anymore. I think it used to. And we don't want to have, you know, a bunch of levers sitting around next to the rails. So we might have to go grab some redstone and see if we can, you know, disguise the power source that way. Well, I'm pretty embarrassed to admit this, but I had no clue that you could just put a redstone torch underneath the source block. Oh god, this just shows my lack of knowledge in the redstone area. But look at that, we can just put a redstone torch underneath the rail and it will power the block. So let's continue on with the minecart track. Are we going to have enough is the real question. Well, with only 33 rails left, we're definitely going to need some more. Okay, we've ran the track all the way from point A, the little minecart lodge, all the way down to point B, which is the fishing dock. I just need to figure out, you know, we got 6 powered rails left over. I need to put some in this area right here, but I just need to figure out, you know, how to stop the water from interrupting the redstone signal. So we're just going to play around with that and see if we can work it out. I'm thinking, or I'm hoping, we can use some kind of trapdoors to trap off the water source, I guess, since they are a trapdoor, but we'll need to get rid of the water source blocks around the area that we want to put the trapdoors as well. So let's have a go at that. Definitely not how I wanted to make it work, guys, but I think this is the best I can do. Like, my brain is just can't figure out how to eliminate all the source blocks with the use of the fences. So we're just going to do this for now because it is working. And last of all, we just need to test out the minecart track to see if we can get from both directions, you know, from the fishing dock up to the base and then vice versa, the base back down. So let's set up some minecarts and do a little test run. We also need to make like a little stopping station at both ends of the track as well. Down. Open the Minecraft, press the button. First test run, let's go! This is the way I was worried about. Let's see if we could get all the way back up the hill. Perfect. Oh yes, nailed it first shot. Look at that, guys. Okay, so we'll set up another little station here. Right, so barrels down. And then where can we put the button in this area, guys? Because the only real option is to put it on the floor, I guess. Because yeah, we can't put it on a block that sits here because then it'll power the block above it, I think. Test it out real quick. Just put a random bit of wood down. If we put a button here, does that activate it? Oh, it's still activated. Then it kind of gives no use for this area here. Just rock the button on the floor for now. If you guys have any other better ideas of how I can power this block without making too much of a mess, let me know. Yeah, we'll jump in the minecart. Let's test the run all the way back down again. Should be fun because most of it's downhill. We'll pick up a decent amount of speed. Going over the diagonal tracks was so smooth, by the way. I used to remember it being so rickety. And apologies about the loud minecart noise as well, but we've just arrived at the fishing dock. Perfect, and then we can actually leave the minecart there. They like ruin the server if I just leave empty minecarts laying around. Like, do they drop FPS or anything like that? Curious to know. Make some more of a platform there just to make getting out a little bit more easier. And voila, that is the minecart track done. So viewing it from overhead, it obviously doesn't look pretty at the moment, but we'll just add it to our to-do list to, you know, slowly decorate it over time. And it will need to be mob proof as well. Like if we hit anything on the track, it obviously send us backwards. So we need to do a better job of making it look more detailed over time, but I'm not gonna do that in today's episode, guys. We'll probably just add it to our to-do list off camera because it's just gonna be a bunch of, you know, hiding up the blocks around it because we obviously need to leave the minecart track as it is. But you know, we can make a nice coarse dirt and gravel pathway from point A to point B. I think that'll look nice over time. But yeah, overall, very happy with how that one turned out. I'm gonna go sleep off the night, and then we're gonna talk about the next project that we want to take care of. Well, actually, one last decoration because it's on my mind now. So we just wanted to make it look like underneath here was the little storage area for minecarts. I think I need to place them like on a block first, and then we push it a little bit. Yeah. Just destroy the rail there. Perfect. Yeah, we'll make this area look like, you know, the minecart storage area. where they just sit underneath. As I was just saying, we're going to sleep off tonight, and then I'm going to talk about the next project that we need to do in today's episode, which I'm super excited for. Now, the reason I'm super excited to build this next project, guys, is not because I've never built one before, but I'm building it away from this medieval area, which means I don't have to stick to the theme of trying to disguise it into a medieval theme build. I can just build the farm and leave it sitting as it is because it's going to be built over the ocean. But yeah, if you haven't guessed it already, we're going to be building a guardian time for the first ever time in Minecraft. I'm super excited to gain access to all the Prismarine blocks that the farm does bring to you. Pretty much have no materials gathered up for this farm either, by the way. So we're going to spend, the next hour or so gathering all the materials that we need to build the guardian farm, and then we'll meet you guys in the spot over the ocean where we're going to build up the farm. Now, I thought it was going to be easy to gather up all the materials for this farm, guys, but we don't have a spider farm yet, and I know one of the players, Skooma, does have a farm on the server, but I have no clue how to get to it. So I'm going to do the string gathering the old school way and head down to the abandoned mineshaft when I can see where I'm actually going, and we're going to have to just gather up the string the old-fashioned way by using our sword and chopping down all the webs. This view is still absolutely sensational down here, guys, especially with the shader pack on. But yeah, there's plenty of string over there that we're going to need, so let's go gather all that. With all the materials gathered up, we hopped in a boat and went on over to the cold ocean biome where we cleared some ocean temples in the last episode. And as you can see, we've stopped over this particular ocean monument, and this is going to be the monument where we create our guardian farm. With the help of some potions, and I believe I need to take off my armor to make this invisibility potion worth it, we're going to start this guardian farm up. And I bet you guys can't guess what's coming up next. That's right, another time lapse, so enjoy. And just like that, we now have a working guardian farm and access to the Prismarine blocks, which I'm pretty excited to use for a future build. And like I mentioned earlier, since we're out in the middle of the ocean, I don't have to disguise this farm into a big medieval build, because that would have taken an enormous time, especially with the AFK platform all the way up into the sky. We can probably get rid of these scaffoldings and just, use our rockets and elytra to get up there in the future. But yeah. Guardian farm is ticked off, and we're still actually invisible at the moment due to using the invisible potions to help us place all the blocks without getting slayed by the guardians, because their beams do hit pretty strong. It will take a decent amount of time to accumulate enough shards and crystals and all that to make a decent build out of the Prismarine blocks, so we'll have to do a decent amount of AFKing over the next couple of weeks, I reckon, before we have access to enough blocks to make a build out of them. I don't actually have anything planned yet to build anything out of the Prismarine blocks, but we've got plenty of builds planned on our to-do list, so we'll probably just pick a build to use the Prismarine blocks for. Now, I've gone ahead and collected a villager because I said I wanted to put a fisherman at the fishing dock we just built earlier. Hopefully B's a good little boy and I can get him to the upstairs area. As we turn the corner, we should be able to see the lovely little fishing dock tucked away. I'm so happy with this location. Parked him here. Made a path to the upstairs area. He's going to be trapped up there, unfortunately, unless I make like another staircase to the balcony so he has a free range access. But he's going to be stuck up here for the time being, and I just want to make another barrel to see if he'll chase the barrel all the way to the upstairs area. Off you go, sir. Go find your barrel. I don't want you to go cauldron. The barrel. Come here, sir. Come get the barrel. You're not having the cauldron. There we go. Alright, so his pathfinder's the barrel, and now hopefully trap him. We'll trap him from here. Now if I destroy the barrel, then what happens if we... Oh, he's gonna come up here. Come pathfind to this other barrel, please. Hey, just like that. Just like that. The fisherman is in his new home. He has a little bed here, he can sleep off the nights, but he doesn't have a big walking area. Unfortunately, that is a problem for another day, sir. What trades do you have? There, a string and a coal tray. That's more appropriate for you. Okay, let's take all this stone down. We're just not gonna have a barrel outside for now, guys. He can hopefully be smart enough to stay up here. He can probably jump off down this way, but why would he risk his safety? And that is all we have time for in today's episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any name suggestions for our little fisherman friend living upstairs in the fishing dock, please let me know. He kind of looks like a Frank or a Freddy to me, but I'll let you guys decide the name if you want to leave a comment down below. I don't want to spoil too much, but if you guys enjoy the bigger builds, please stick around for the upcoming videos. We do have a few planned in the next few episodes, so please stick around for that. I really hope I'm not going to fall behind by committing to the bigger builds, but we'll have to see. We do have a couple of filler videos planned if we do fall behind and we need a, we need an extra 2 weeks to catch up like we did with our world tour video. Thank you so much again for watching, and I'm going to enjoy a couple more minutes of fishing. See you next time.